Well, folks, would you take a look at that? Tesla stock just got downgraded, and currently it's down over 3.5%, about to go under 180 bucks by the looks of it. So yeah, we have a lot to break down today around Tesla stock, their downgrade, upcoming competition. So if you all find value, of course, take a sip of your coffee, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get up to 17 stocks from Moomoo. All the details are linked down below. We'll talk more about that later, and now let's dive into it. So look at that, guys. Again, it's down about 3.5% right now. It got downgraded this morning, and the stock's just been getting destroyed all day. You can see in the pre-market it was about 185, 186 bucks. We got the downgrade, and now it's at about 181. It got down all the way to 180 bucks on the dot here, and we've been seeing a little bit of a relief rally from that point, but the bears are still in charge 100% here, as you guys can see on the intraday chart. And on the 5-day chart, you'll notice, look at that, we are still obviously in a downtrend on this time frame. And on the 4-hour chart, you're going to see the head and shoulders that we called out is pretty much playing out to a T right now, as we are right at the 180 SMA, which happens to be right at about 180 bucks here on Tesla stock on the 4-hour chart. And did we not talk about this yesterday, guys? Did we not talk about this yesterday? We did. So that's why you have to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss these videos, because we literally talk about this stuff every day. So where we are right now, this is a big support for Tesla. Not only is it the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart support, but also it was resistance, roughly 180 bucks back in the end of January. You guys can see this right here. This point right here, 180 bucks. That was a big resistance. Now, if we do fall through this point, guys, man, oh man, is it going to get ugly, technically speaking, on Tesla stock, at least in my opinion. So a Berenberg analyst, Adrian Janoschik, I think that's how you say his name, probably not, he slashed his rating on Tesla stock to a hold from a buy. So it's not like he's going to sell, it's not like he's putting a sell rating on the stock, but he put a hold rating from a buy on Wednesday, and his concerns mostly valuation based. He said, quote, "We downgraded our rating to hold now that our buy thesis based on misplaced fears of a price war appears to have been accepted by the market." And he said also, "We argued that Tesla can take market share at a gross margin of roughly 25%, excluding credits, which indeed is where we see investor expectations heading for 2024. So it's not like he's bearish on the company now. All he's saying is maybe the stock price has gotten a little bit ahead of itself, and he's going from a buy to a hold. And I'm assuming he had that buy rating when Tesla was in the lower hundreds, when it was down to about 100, 125, 150 even. So now that it's seen that massive run, it's a hold rating for him, which makes complete sense to me, guys. And of course, we have a lot of competition in China and now in Europe, now that BYD is planning on expanding to Europe. We'll break that down in a second. And as I say all the time, guys, it's not the end of the world when an analyst puts a sell rating or a hold rating or a buy rating. You shouldn't really freak out and make crazy decisions off of that. I don't, and I don't think anybody out there should. But the reality of the matter is, when we do get downgrades, upgrades, in the short term, it does fluctuate the stock price. That's just the reality of the matter, and that's what we're seeing right now with Tesla. We got the downgrade. It's moving down a little bit. All right. Is it going to last forever? Probably not. Is it going to rebound maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day? It might do that. It might just do that. You got to keep in mind the reactions from these downgrades, upgrades. They're very short term for the most part. And we'll see how, again, this ends up, doing heading into tomorrow, heading into the next couple of days. And we have a lot of competition. Like I said, BYD now plans to launch a new commercial vehicle, different commercial vehicle models in markets including China, Europe, and Japan over the next 3 years, according to the Wall Street Journal. And the company has mapped out a budget of more than $20 billion for its commercial vehicle division through 2025, with major spending planned for research, product development, and capacity expansion, according to the company, right? And BYD, get this, guys, sold over 1.8 million new energy vehicles in 2022, making it the world's largest player in the field. So they are selling more vehicles overall than Tesla, right? And Ford is also coming with competition. You guys know that. Ford just recently lowered their Mach-E, their price of their Mach-E, which is one of their, premier electric vehicles, which is comparable to Tesla's Model Y. By an average, they just lowered it by an average of about $4,500. I think that was actually about a month ago, but still, it's very relevant. And depending on the model, the reductions range from $600 to $5,900 compared to Tesla's price cuts of up to $13,000 on their Model Y, which that occurred earlier in January. So a lot of these electric vehicles these companies are introducing a lot of new different models. That's what they're looking to do the next couple of years. And B, on their existing models, they are cutting prices to try and be more competitive. Either that or there's a lack of demand, which I don't think there's a complete lack of demand for cars like BYD, Ford, Teslas. I just think there's rising competition, and they got to cut prices. And that's the beautiful thing about capitalism, right, guys? When there's capitalism, you live in a capitalistic society, prices go down. Good products are made. There's a lot of competition. And, to gain more, market share, you got to, A, create a great product, and B, sell it at a competitive price. I mean, think about it. Think about a perfect example of this is TVs, right? Like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, TVs were like $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 for a brand new model. And don't get me wrong, there's still TVs these days that are $5,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, no doubt about it. But you can get a very nice TV these days, flat screen, beautiful 40, 50-inch TV, for a couple $100, which that was not the case when, you saw these great TVs first come to the market, right? It was mostly very expensive. I remember my mom was telling me she got this TV, and I know because I just moved it out of the basement, and we have to, we got rid of it, from their house, right? It was a TV from 1993, and she said she bought it for like $1,500 or $1,000 back then, and this TV was like the box TV, right? It was literally 100 pounds. I almost broke my back trying to carry this thing up the stairs. But, that's a perfect example of capitalism, right? You have a great product. Competition comes in over time. You have to make the product even better and lower the prices and make it more efficient to actually make the product, and you reach more people doing that. That's the idea, right? And we're seeing that here with Ford, with BYD, Tesla. They're all going at it, and at the end of the day, what's going to come out of this is a better product at a cheaper price, and more people are going to be able to get this product, right? And the product is, of course, electric vehicles, an electric vehicle if you want an electric vehicle. And I believe BYD doesn't even sell ICE vehicles anymore. Ford does, but they're they have obviously a bunch of EVs now, and of course Tesla does not sell an ICE vehicle. They're an electric vehicle company. So at the end of the day, guys, competition out there is good for for Tesla. Now, is it going to eat their market share? For sure, that's going to happen, but it's not the end of the world. Healthy competition is good. In fact, guys, what competition means is that there's actually demand for the product. If there's no competition, that means there's probably not a market for it. There's no demand for it, or you're truly in an untapped market, which in that case, you could be the first mover and make a ton of money, which that's difficult to do. It's more difficult to do that than or I don't know. That's debatable. We're not going to get into that in this video. But either way, guys, Tesla stock right now is down to about $182, down about 3%. So it is rallying a little bit on the intraday right now, which is nothing really worth writing home about. In fact, it's still in a downtrend, so keep in mind, be careful with that. But we are starting to see a little bit of a relief rally. Let's see how that ends up playing out over the next couple of hours for the rest of the day. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for the video, guys. We just got, again, news that they got downgraded. There's a lot of competition coming. BYD is probably the biggest threat to Tesla across the board, in my opinion. Yeah, no doubt about it, in my opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts down below. And don't forget to get up to 17 stocks from Moomoo. Link down below. Or you guys can go to stocksurfast.com/Moomoo. Once you open up an account, you get one free stock right off the bat. If you deposit at least $100 on Moomoo, you get 4 more free shares of stock, plus 2 free shares of either AI, ticker symbol AI, or BBAI. So right off the bat, if you deposit at least $100, you're getting 7 stocks. And if you deposit at least $1,000, guys, you get another 10 stocks on top of the 7 stocks that you get if you deposit at least $100. So depending on how much money you deposit, guys, you get free stocks. Link down below. It also helps out the channel. I appreciate you all. As always, don't forget to check out the Patreon as well. That's linked down below if you guys want to be a part of the Patreon portfolio, the Discord, you want to see my charts throughout the day, and if you want more access to me throughout the day, the best place is on Patreon. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.